Hey guys, welcome back to Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs. Today we're back on the 409 Impala doing some custom tricks to it. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's make this pattern for doing a dash gauge cluster insert. So, all right, so I'll rough cut a piece of steel, and this is kind of heavy. This is going to allow me to do some welding and stuff on it. And now we're going to cut out the spot where the bezel is, and then we're going to bend it. And then we'll start working on the cluster when we get this fit in the car good. All right, we got this cut out. Let's get it over here and make some marks, and let's bend it. All right, this is the last little tweak. Should be close. Let's go check it out. It's a little bit over a 90. So let's go see if that's where we need to be. All right, I hope there's enough light in here. I've got the car covered up with some plastic. But we've been sneaking up on this panel. And I think we got it this time. I've got to figure out how I want to bond this steel to this pot metal. Panel bond is pretty much what's holding all of the late model cars together these days. So that should be fine for this. As far as the instrument cluster, I'm probably going to go ahead and weld this all together and have this all one piece. The center cluster where all the gauges are will slide into place. That's kind of where I want to be. So now let's take this back over to the workbench and let's see if the cardboard cluster that we made will fit in here like we want it to. It's really at these moments right here where you take a stock piece that may be rare and you start modifying it, and it really makes people mad. But here's the piece that we made that we're going to bond to the 61 Impala dash. And from here, I need to remove this part of the dash that I've got outlined right here. Once we get that removed, I remade the gauge pod out of cardboard, oversized it, and it'll go in there like that. Like it or not, here we go. We're either going to make you mad or you're going to be extremely excited when you see the end product, because I do believe that this custom dash is going to come out great. Let me know what you think. I can't wait to hear. All right, got that part of the dash cut out, and I know a lot of you stock Impala guys are cringing right now, but that's okay. There's plenty of these on eBay if you want to buy one to save. That looks great. I believe I'm going to make this to where it'll slide, where we can put it in and bolt the cluster in. That way we can wire all of this up really nice with the gauges and have a long pigtail on it to where it'll lay down in front of you on your lap, because I believe I'm going to use this as a service port to get to the slave cylinder and the master cylinder for the brakes. Let's go put this in the car and see if that's going to be feasible. All right, we got it set back in place. We got the panel on that we just made. It's been cut out, and there's the front and rear master cylinder and the slave cylinder for the 6-speed. So I believe if we can pull this off and make this to where the part of the dash stays bolted in permanently and the gauge cluster is removable, that is going to be a great service port to get to that stuff right there. So now we just got to figure out how to do that, how we want to do that to where it's easy, clean, and simple. We made it out of cardboard. Now it's time to finish up and make it out of steel and get it ready for a set of gauges. Let's dive into this. Trace our cardboard pattern out on this piece of steel here. So Let's put down some layout dye. That should be enough. All right, so I flipped it, got me a center line, flipped it, and this is basically the larger of the two sides flipped and done on both sides, so it'll be symmetrical. And I put tape around it to make sure that my lines were all smooth. And this is where I'm going to cut it. So we've gone from cardboard to steel, and I've just got it tacked in. Not sure how I want to finish welding it yet. And I went ahead and made a pattern for the gauge. So I went ahead and made a pattern for the gauge cluster because I'm going to make an aluminum overlay that I'm going to engine turn to give it a little bit of that old school race look. What kind of direction would you go? Just curious. It's going to have an old school tack hanging off the column just like it would have had back in the 60s. So a lot of more modifications to come, guys. So if you like this custom Impala build, catch up on it. Well, I want to thank all you guys that hung around to the end. It means a lot to me that you like to watch me take boring stuff and make it cool, because that's all I'm doing. Dare to be different, get out in the garage and go build something. See you guys in the next episode.